Let's wait for 2-3 minutes so that all the participants will join. Am I audible? Anyone reply?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's wait for 2 more minutes. So let's start with today's lecture. Am I audible? Anurag?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Vaibhav is there in the meeting? Vaibhav, are you present? Anyways. So in continuation with your unit 1. So today I will cover some of the topics which are basic related to mathematics, and we will cover arithmetics operations, logarithmic, exponentials, e-notations, and assigning objects. I hope all of you have installed R and R Studio to their systems. First of all, to add comments in R, we have to use the hash symbol. So to write the comment in C, we use the slash and the asterisk operations. But to add the comments in R, we use the hash symbol. So let's continue with our arithmetic. Arithmetic operation, as we know, is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We can directly just write the values and we can perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication directly in the R. R setup or script file console work as a calculator as well. You just write the numbers, so you can add, multiply and subtract it. Okay. For this purpose, we have to follow there. As you see in the C, we have the Bodmer's rule. In the R, we have PEMDAS rule. PEMDAS means is first we have to solve the parenthesis, then the exponents, then multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Okay. So for multiplication, division, subtraction, we use the same symbols as we are using in mathematics. And for the exponential and indices, we use the cap symbol. So here are the some, I have written some codes for this purpose. For addition, you just write the numbers. Like I have to add 2 plus 3. We just write at the R script file 2 plus 3. And if you print, if you just click the enter button, it will gives you the result. I will, first of all, I'll told you these syntax, then we'll do these commands on our console. This is an addition example. This is a subtraction example. This is a simple multiplication and division example. But like come to this point where this kind of equation is written 14 divided by 6 plus 5. In this case, if you run this command on R, so first it will perform the division operation and then it will add the 5. As you can see, if you divide 14 by 6, we get 2.33. If we divide, if we run this equation, it will divide 14 by 6 first and then add the 5. So we have to be very careful when writing the equations, because if you want to evaluate 5 plus 6 plus 5 first, then you have to add a parenthesis. Okay. So first I will, I think I have to mute all of you. For the calculation of square root, in R, we can calculate the square root of positive values by using the square root function. And the function is written as, the syntax is SQRT, squared. You just give a value here, x equals to 9, and it will calculate the square root for this. But you have to make sure the value should be non-negative. If you take a negative value here, the square root will not be calculated and it will give you an error. Let's see. Now I have to share, I'm going to share my R screen here. There it is here. To write any R script file, you just go to the file, open a new file, and here you have to select R script. He just give you a new R script that is untitled. You can save it at any location. Whatever the variables you will create, it will show here at this window, because this is your environment history window. Whatever variables you will create, this can be shown here. Like if you want to perform the addition operation, you just write 3 plus 4. If for running purpose, you have to select this and put a run command. You can see at the console window, we get the result 3 plus 4 equals to 7. You can write your command directly here also. But if you write your command, you can track it from the history, but you cannot save it at the console window. It cannot be saved. To save our program, we first open a script file. We first open a script file and write their code here, and then we save it. I've already written these codes, like 2 plus 3 I have written these codes. If I have to run these commands, it will give me a result here on the console window. You can find it. It will give the result of my each command, like 2 plus 3, 3 minus 2, 2 into 3 into 2, 3 divided by 2. And the last two lines, if you see last two lines, the result of these two commands are very different, because for this line of equation, it will first perform the addition because it is within the parenthesis. It will evaluate the parenthesis first and then divide it with the 40. And in this command, what it do? It first divide 14 by 6 and then it will add your plus 5. So while writing any mathematical function, you have to be very specific for writing. Like if you have to calculate the power or indices value, just click the cap here, like 3 to the power 2. We run this, it will give a value 9. 3 into 3, it will give a value 9. Like 2 to the power 3, I've run it, it will give me a value 8. 2 into 2 into 2, it will give me a value 8. Like for a square root function, I have taken the value 9. To take the square root, I just run this command. It will calculate it. The square root of 9 is equals to 3. The square root of 5.311 is 2.304. Now suppose I have put a negative sign here, x equals to minus 9. Then it will definitely give me a error. Yes, Nance produced. The squared function will not work with negative value, because when we take the square, it will always become a positive value. These are the some typical equations or of math functions. While writing these equations, you have to be because in our equation, this is you have to write a inline commands. You have to give your inline values. For this purpose, suppose this is the equation which you want to evaluate. For this purpose, I have written 10 raised to the power 2 plus 3 into 60 divided by 8 minus 3. So it will always evaluate by using the parenthesis first, then the exponential, then multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. But some equations, there are not parentheses or not given, but you have to add the parenthesis, because if you are not put a parenthesis, it will evaluate incorrectly. That's why we have to put a parenthesis here. Like in the equation, in this equation, the third equation, the equation is 2 raised to the power 2 plus 1. Okay. Like this is the power, so that's why we have to put a parenthesis here. 2 plus 1 I've enclosed in a parenthesis, although there is no parenthesis given. And in this position, 64 raised to the power minus 2, 2 to the power 2.23 minus 1.4. So I have to evaluate this function first, then this function, and then finally this one. I have to evaluate the combination of parentheses. Like first I will perform this one. I have enclosed in 2.25 minus 1.4. Whatever the result will come here, it will comes to the minus 2 to the power, and then it will go to the 64 to the power this. So while writing any mathematical function, we have to be very careful where we have to put the parenthesis. And if you are putting the parenthesis in incorrect manner, your result will be wrong. Now come to the logarithmic and exponential function. Log and exponential, as we know, that E equals to 1 by log. For calculating a log in R, you have to define a base. If you are not defining a base, it will take a base 10. Whenever you have to calculate the log value, you have to define the base. Like for log calculation, we use the syntax word that is a log, and x equals to 240. This is the number, and this is the base. On the base of 3, we are calculating the log of this value, and for this purpose we have using the syntax log. For exponential functions, we have to give only single variable, that is x, and we have to define a value here for which the exponential is being calculated. To calculate the exponential, we use the exp value. Here I have written exp x equals to 3. It will calculate the exponential of this. Suppose I am taking the log of this value, it will give me an exponent. As we know, the log is inversely proportional to the exponent. So in this equation, I am calculating the exponential of x equals to 3. So it will give me 20.08554. If we are taking again the log of this, because I am not defining here any base value, so it will take on the base of 10. And on the basis of base 10, it will give me a value, and that value sums to be 3. So let's see these syntaxes in our window. Here I have executed these commands of the typical mathematical equation that I have seen. If you run these commands, will give you a result here on the console window. Come to here, logarithmic and exponential. As you can see, I have added a hash. By using the hash command, you can write any kind of comments. The first is where the base is included. Here I have written log x equals to 243 and the base is equals to 3. This is the calculation of log of value x on the base 3. You just click the run button, it will give you a value 5. Now this is the exponential. Exponential of x equals to 3 will give me a 20.08554. If you again take a log of this value, then it will give me a exponent value, because exponent is inversely proportional to the log. It will give me again 3. As you can see on the console window, we are getting the results. Similarly, if you click on the history, you can find all your commands, whatever you are executing on your console window, you can have all these commands in your history. You can use any of these commands. If you save this image, then you can next time you directly use these commands, whatever we have already executed. Let's see. So next one is the E notation. E notation is basically e to the power, because if you are having a very large value, in R this value cannot be written. If you written this kind of log large value in which larger number of values are presented, then it will represent in E notations form. You just write this value 10 is to the power 12. it will give me this. Something is there. I have to put a point here. 2.33 something. Suppose let's see this is the value. If you count this value, the 12 or 13 digits, 12 digits is there. So we just put a decimal here and rest of the things are in the point value and we have multiplied by 10 is to the power 12. If you just put this value in R and run that, it will give me in the form of E notations. It means the value is 10 raised to the power 12. If you write the value in this form, it will give me e raised to the power 10. The same value is there, but you can see it is, the decimal is after 3 digits. Here the decimal is after 1 digit. This is the right side version where the power is positive, e to the power is positive. And if you have the e to the power negative, it will come to the left side. The decimal will come and the value 0 can be there. We have example of this also. Suppose I have executed this value in R, it will give me 2.34. Rest of the value will be ignored and it will give me the result of e to the power plus 12. It means the 12 digits are there. And if the e to the power is minus 0.7, it means 0 is presented on the left side value. Let's see how it will results in R. These are the E notation. First, let's check this value. As we run this value, it will give me a value 2.34 and e raised to the power 12. If we run this value, it will give me e to the power minus 0.7 and you can see the value is same. The value is 2.433, 2.533 here and here it is 2.32. It means whenever we are writing a larger value, either negative or the positive value, it will give me a same value. But by seeing the exponent value, we have to recognize whether the value is positive or whether the value is negative. Whenever there is a negative power, it means the value is very lesser in terms. And whereas there is a positive power, it means the value is very higher in terms. And so up till now, whatever we do, we are directly performing the operations on the numbers. Like in C, you have also seen, sometimes we just write a program to add two numbers. But for that purpose, what we have to take two variables, then we assign the values and then we add it. And we can directly write the program of C. If we have already known the number, we have to add 4 plus 5. Then we can write the 4 plus 5 is equals to something like this. But in R, if you want to assign, define a variable, we have to assign into objects. In R, there is no variable, there are objects. For that purpose, we have to create objects. This is assigning object. For our assignment, we use two symbols, like this arrow symbols or equal to symbols. Both can be used. Whatever you find. So in R symbol, you can find both the assignment can be used. The arrow symbols can be used and equal to symbols can be used. Whatever symbol is comfortable for you, you can use it or you can use it interchangeably. So I have written some assignment operators here. Like the first object I have created is X, where I have assigned a value -5. If you print X, it will give you me a -5 value. For I have taken a new variable Y, where I have assigned a positive value, that is 5. Here I have used the arrow symbol and at this point I have used a equal to symbol. If we print X, it will give me -5. If we print Y, it will give me a 5. If we assign a different value to the same created object, then it will override the value. Like X is equals to X plus 1. Initially the value is -5, it will add 1, and if we print the x value, it will give me a -4. And if we perform any operation on x after this command, then it will perform the operation on this new value, because it is override the previous value. Now I have taken a new value, that is m, which is 45.2. I created a new object z, in which I have multiplied m into x, and now the value is saved into z. This is the value, and there is a list command, ls command. If you use the list command, it will show you all the listed variable in this form. Let's see how it performs in R. So this is the first x where I have put -5. I've just run it. I have to put x, then it will give me a value that is -5. Then I have created a new object y. You can see at the console window the value 5 is appeared here. Now we are assigning a different value to x equals to x plus 1. Now if you print x, it will give -4. It will override the value of previous x. I have taken a new object m equals to 45.2. If you print m, it will give me 45.2. Now in z, he is storing the multiplication of m and x. It will give me a value of x. Then finally list all the variables. It will always list the variables in the alphabetical order. Whatever variables you are creating, it will list into the alphabetical order. X, m, x, y, z. Although we have created the x object first, y second time, then on the third position m and z, but it will always list the items in an alphabetical order. If you see the history, all the commands that we have executed are present here in the history. If we'll go to the environment, you can see whatever objects or the variables you have created, this can be shown here. If you want to remove any of the variable that you have created, you have to use delete command. So remove command. I have removed the m value. You can see at the global environment, there is no m presented. By using the remove command, and within the parentheses, you have to give the variable name which you want to delete. You can delete that value. If you assign these value, you can further use it for the calculation purpose. That's all with today's lecture. Tomorrow I will give you some assignment. Let's first unmute all of you. Is there any problem to anyone?
No, ma'am.
No. Sorry. All of you unmute your mic. Ananya, Raj Singh. Ananya, are you there? Aparajita Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Aparajita, have you installed R?
Yes, ma'am.
It's my advice to all of you, whatever commands we are doing here, I will give you PDF for this. You just execute it once. It will hardly take 15 minutes for you. Okay. So as the lecture passes on, you just run these commands with as well. Okay, thank you all.